What is up, YouTube? Pink Reaper here. You know what time it is? That's right, it's that time of year again. It is time for me to bitch about E3. Anyone who's familiar with my channel knows that I tend to do this pretty much every year. I make a video, I just complain about E3. Or talk about all the stuff I liked or didn't like or whatever. Basically, I talk about what's good, and then I talk about Microsoft. Yeah, so it's about 2 p.m. on, what day is today? I don't even know, Wednesday? Yeah. Nintendo's conference, or not conference, I guess, their live stream wrapped up not that long ago. Man, why does this controller feel so weird to use right now? Nintendo, being the last conference, or their live stream, I guess, wrapped up a couple hours ago, and I've had time to digest everything they've shown off. So I figured I'd make a video and talk about it. I'm gonna say right now, this E3 was fucking pretty disappointing to me. And I'll probably remember some things wrong. Like, I can't guarantee I'll remember the exact names of everything that was announced, just because, like, for instance, the Ubisoft conference I was watching at work, because I am nothing if not the best fucking employee to exist. The Square Enix conference I actually turned off after a while. God. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's start with Square Enix, just so I do not have to talk about Square Enix at all after this. So Square Enix hasn't had a conference since 2015, I believe it was the last time that they actually had their own full E3 conference. They just sort of skipped it. Or they didn't skip E3, they just kind of didn't do it in the last couple of years. They should not have come back. I'm just going to say that right now. To claim that their conference was anything other than a total disaster would be just a complete lie. One enemy, alright. They announced 2 new games, and that was it. That was their whole conference. Everything else was just trailers that had already been shown at earlier conferences. Most of them at Microsoft. They reshowed the exact same really shitty Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. And I don't mean like shitty in that like what they showed off looked bad. I mean it was just like really poorly made. There was some weird audio issues. I don't know if it was issues or if they did it on purpose, but the audio mixing was really fucking bad. I might come back to that. Yeah, the audio mixing was super fucking bad, and it was weird. But they, like, that was it. Like, everything that they showed off was stuff that they had already showed off, and they didn't really give any new information. They barely gave any information, period, like, on their stuff that was getting shown off, during the earlier conferences. But even beyond that, like, they gave no new information. Obviously didn't show Final Fantasy VII Remake, not that that's a surprise, that game's never coming out, so it doesn't really fucking matter. They did give a apparently legitimate release date for Kingdom Hearts 3, which might actually be true, even though I constantly claim that game's never coming out. Because, I mean, let's be honest, that game got fucking announced for the PS2. So it would not be surprising to find out that game actually got delayed again or something. Oh, that's a grenade. I hate this enemy. You're so annoying. So yeah, like, I don't know what the fuck Square Enix was doing. My favorite part too was they were like, make sure you stay around for the very end, and then the very end was fucking nothing. Go fuck yourself, Square. Should I buy a key? Oh wait, let's see what I'll get. So yeah, Square Enix's was absolutely the worst. Microsoft was sort of whatever. I mean, if you want to go solely by, like, new announcements, Microsoft was probably the best, because they announced new Halo, new Gears of War, new Forza, things that hadn't previously been announced. But for the most part, it was all stuff that's just sort of expected. It's sort of all Microsoft has. Again, though, at least they actually announced it, like, and showed some stuff off, which is good. That company, what is this? This is the Icebreaker, not a bad gun. Like, they actually did at least show some stuff off, which not all companies can say they did. Like, new stuff. EA's conference, I don't give a shit. I'm actually not going to talk about EA at all because I hate EA. I refuse to support EA. They could have announced the second coming of fucking Jesus. But considering it's EA, they'd also probably require you have like a fucking season pass. And loot box only DLC to use it. So I don't fucking care. Nothing they showed off would make me want to buy a game from EA. It doesn't matter what they showed off. So, not going to talk about EA. Ubisoft. Ubisoft was sort of in the same situation as most companies, I feel like, this year, where... It's the twins? It's the twins. Where what they showed off was just sort of like stuff we already knew was coming. Like, it wasn't like a... it wasn't like really any new announcements. Part of that, however, isn't their fault. Part of it was because the new Assassin's Creed got leaked. Oh, fuck. They really couldn't do anything about that. Like, they weren't in control of that. They had to sort of announce it early. And I feel like that was like a really big thing with... Oh, fuck. A really big thing with this year's E3 is a lot of stuff, like, got leaked really early. Like, we've known it was coming for a while now. Oh, god damn it. Right at the end. But yeah, like, we've known it's been coming for a while because it got leaked, and there's not really a lot that those companies could do about that. Let's go see if I can crack this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy a key, but if not, nope. All right, I'm still gonna buy a key though, just to have one. Yeah, but a lot of leaks. So a lot of Ubisoft stuff we already knew about, and also just sort of stuff that was expected or sort of brought up before. A new Assassin's Creed isn't particularly, you know, I don't... Mind-blowing. Let's go with that. I didn't know what I wanted to say there. A new Assassin's Creed wasn't going to be particularly surprising anyways, but it's just like... still, what they had, what it was, its setting and all that stuff had already been leaked, so it's not like... It really sort of killed any momentum that they had for that. And, I mean, that was their big reveal. They spent a large portion of the end of their press conference showing it off. Bethesda had theirs. It was weird. Andrew WK was weird. Again, though, it was a lot of stuff that had already been announced or that we already knew about. They dedicated, you know, most of their time to Fallout 76, a game that had already been announced, and it was really just them showing off more about it. I can't say I particularly care about it at all. I'm not a huge fan of, you know, the survival type games. Especially not the you only play it online, there are no NPCs type. But I'm sure there's some people who are, but I feel like even normal Fallout fans are going to be, like, there's going to be a lot of Fallout fans who are kind of disappointed at that. It's not a normal Fallout game. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'm getting hit by that no matter what. I love that. I love when I just fucking open a door and I have nowhere to move from an explosion that's about to happen in my face. Good job, Enter the Gungeon. Save someone. They announced Elder Scrolls 6, which, I mean, it's less of a huge surprise and more of a fucking finally. Like, people have been like, at least fucking announce it for years now. Again, they didn't have anything to show on it though. I think it was sort of like in the Metroid 4, Metroid Prime 4 console Pokemon thing, where it's just like, they needed to say they were doing it just because people wanted them to say they were doing it. I don't really think it was that much of a surprise that they're working on the next Elder Scrolls game, but it was at least important that they actually announced it. As opposed to, you know, just another fucking version of Skyrim. By the way, they did technically announce another version of Skyrim. It was the fucking mobile phone version. I was so waiting for them to announce just like Elder Scrolls Skyrim for phones. Like that, not even like a new sort of like specifically for phones version, just like the actual Skyrim for phones. Like that's what I was expecting. Didn't happen. I'm kind of upset about that. Trying to think of what else Ubisoft showed off that was Starlink, which I apparently had been announced before, but I didn't hear anything about it, or maybe I didn't, I just ignored it because it's a Toys to Life game, which I don't know why they're, like, why? Like, that is dead. Toys to Life is not a thing that still exists. No one cares anymore. That fad has passed. And it's unfortunate, too, because I might have, honestly, like, I don't buy Ubisoft games for kind of the same reason I don't buy EA games, that the company's kind of shit. And I had to really, like, convince myself not to buy Mario and Rabbids. That's another thing. They showed off the DK DLC, which, again, we knew was coming, so, like, it's cool that they showed it off, but again, it's not actually new. Like, if Starlink wasn't a Toys to Life game, I probably would have gotten it on the Switch, because it looks like the first real Star Fox game to come out in a long time. Like, Star Fox Zero, no. But I mean, this looks like just Star Fox, only not, except for you can actually play as Star Fox, so do I want to open a white chest? White chests are usually garbage. Whatever, I'll just use it. I'll use this as like my only for floor 2 gun. But yeah, because it's a Toys to Life game, I don't really care about Starlink. Trying to think if there's anything else really worth noting from Activision. Oh, you sell for keys, though. I don't want these. I can buy a key and buy those, but I don't want any of those. I mean, the Division 2, but we already knew about that, so again, it's like, it's not really that impressive, or not really that interesting to me. It does look like they're sort of trying to make the game, like, make up for all the shit they did wrong in the first Division, which is cool. Like, it's always good to see a company, like, sort of own up to their mistakes. After that, we had Square, which, again, fucks Squares. Just, I don't know why. And then there was Sony. Sony had an okay presentation. Again, it was just sort of focusing... Oh, fuck. Oh, thank you, Glowstone. It was sort of focusing on a lot on games we already knew about. Their big game was Beyond Good and Evil... Or, Beyond Good and Evil. Oh, right! Beyond Good and Evil was shown at Activision's. I almost forgot about that, because they didn't show any fucking gameplay, so I still don't actually know anything about the game. But Beyond Good and Evil 2 was actually shown during the Ubisoft press conference. Like, kind of. It was a cutscene. Basically, they confirmed that, yes, the game is still happening. That's kind of it, but, I mean, hey, better than nothing, because that's that's a game that, like, again, people just thought was never going to happen, period, and then they announced it, and then after announcing it, it kind of went dark, so at least confirming that it's still being worked on. Man, did I really make it through the entirety of Floor 2 without having to deal with a fucking Iron Maiden? That's fantastic. I shouldn't speak too soon. There's always the chance. That's not what I want to be, is it? In fact, it's about to spawn right there. Right? No? We're not doing that? Alright. I'm down. So, Sony's conference, it was, fuck, I'm blanking on the name, and I feel really bad about that. It was such a... The Last of Us 2. I was like, it was such a good game. How did I just blank on that name? It's not going to be a gun. Oh, whatever it is, I get it. Angry bullets. Homing bullets. Oh, that's even better, actually. Now I kind of wish I hadn't used all my Thompson ammo. But yeah, The Last of Us 2 was their big sort of, like, they're focusing on it and giving us a lot of details that, you know, hadn't had yet. But again, it was a game that we've known has been coming. I actually think the biggest reveal from Sony's conference was Devil May Cry 5, which... That's hugely important because, honestly, outside of that, Capcom didn't really announce much this... Oh, the holster. Oh, I just got hit by that. This is so weird. Oh, god damn it. Alright, well, now that I got hit, I don't have to focus as hard. So yeah, that was sort of the big thing from this E3 I've noticed too. The other big thing is, where were the other, like, where was Namco Bandai? Where was Capcom? Where was Konami? I mean, yeah, I guess Konami gave us another, or not Konami, I'm sorry, this is not Konami, that was, this is actually, Kojima's studio, whose name I cannot remember right now. They showed us another trailer of Death Stranding that still didn't make any fucking sense. Capcom showed off a bit of the RE2 remake. One hit on both bosses. Ooh, is that Heart of Ice? It is. Cool. Again, it's just like... should I go buy something from him? No, I'm just gonna keep my 3. A lot of the other companies just didn't show off like anything really, or haven't at least so far. So Sony's conference, again, I mean, they showed off again just a lot of stuff that we already sort of knew was coming. They did show off quite a few, not quite a few, but a couple new things that were really important. Nioh, what was it? Nioh 2. And there's a PSVR game being made by the Dark Souls people, which, I mean, alright, I guess. PSVR. Sony was another conference I didn't get to fully watch because it happened last night while I was playing fucking Magic the Gathering with my roommate and a couple of our friends, so... oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. You dead? Can you be dead? You're not dead! Why aren't you dead yet? There it goes, Jesus. So Nintendo's, I didn't even intend to watch. Like, I was gonna watch it after the fact because, it was 9 in the morning and I didn't want to wake up that early because we only finished playing Magic at like 1. But I don't know what woke me up. I don't know if it was my allergies or what it was, but I woke up at like 6 in the morning this morning. And I was kind of struggling to fall back asleep, so like I was sort of in and out of sleep for a couple hours, and then when I looked at my phone at one point, it was literally 9 o'clock. I'm like, alright, fuck it, I guess I'll go watch Nintendo's thing. It wasn't worth it, if I'm going to be completely honest. They didn't have a terrible E3 showing or anything like that. I mean, they showed off some cool shit. It was just like, I would have preferred to be asleep. What do I have all together now? Fires ice projectiles. I'm taking damage. That's what that does. I was like, yeah. So they started. So this is actually one of the big things. They started with a brand new. Whoa. They started with a brand new IP, which is, you know, huge for Nintendo. That's like their last new IP. Actually, they had a couple, like, but their last like major console IP, I guess I would say, was Splatoon, really. So now they've got something called Daemon X Machina, which I don't know whether or not what they showed off involved any gameplay or not, so I'm kind of going to hold off on talking about it. Like, they showed a trailer where some stuff that looked like it could be gameplay was being shown, but I don't know. So, I'm just going to hold off for right now. They showed... So, Nintendo was sort of another one that got bit really hard by the leak bug. A lot of the stuff that they showed off had already been sort of leaked, or we already knew about. The other big new reveal for like a game we didn't already know about was Super Mario Party, which, I mean, it looks like the first actual Mario Party in a while. None of the stupid fucking, like, oh, you're all in a car and you all move together bullshit. It's actually just like, oh no, you're actually just playing. Is that Gungeon armor? Gun Knight armor? Yeah. You're actually just playing fucking Mario Party, which that's cool for people who really like Mario Party. I haven't played one in a really long time. I think the last one I played was like Mario Party 4. And this would be like Mario Party 11 or whatever, right? But that was sort of the that was the other sort of new thing that got shown off. Everything else really, though, like, was stuff we already knew about. Oh, technically we didn't know about Dragon Ball FighterZ, but it did get announced, which is actually really cool, because again, people wanted Dragon Ball FighterZ, and now they're actually going to get it. Again, though, it was sort of like a thing that had been talked about a lot. So it wasn't really that big of a surprise. But the fact that it did get announced is important. I'm not going to gloss over that fact. The same with Fortnite, which is a game that we've all known was coming for a really long time. And, God help me, I guess I'm getting it because it's free. And my buddy Sean, my good friend Sean, who does not live in town anymore, and I don't get to see very much, he wants to play Fortnite together, so we're going to do it. I'm going to download Fortnite on my damn Switch for free. Is that a bat? It's a bat. I should get that. I was not expecting this to be an actual room. Alright. But, yeah, so Fortnite is a hugely popular game, and its inclusion on the Switch cannot be understated how important that actually is, but I don't care that much, even though apparently I'm getting it. Same with Paladins. Paladins is actually like, it is basically just like bad Overwatch. Not bad Overwatch, but it's sort of like the other Overwatch game that's not as popular. But it is still popular, and the fact that, you know, it's out there and people can play it now, that's also important. They showed off like a sizzle reel of indie games that like people already, I mean, again, we sort of already knew about. Overcooked 2's announcement was big. But other than that, like Hollow Knight, that's cool. I'm gonna get Hollow Knight. That game looks fucking awesome. And I actually didn't realize it had already been announced for the Switch. But it looks cool as hell, and I can't wait to play it. This is gonna be a big enemy, isn't it? Nope. Then came quite possibly the worst part of any non-Square Enix like conference for like the entirety of E3. I mean, okay, I'll talk about a couple of the other indie things they showed off real quick. Actually, they showed off like the Crash stuff. I don't care. You know what? I don't even care. Oh, this was actually earlier in the presentation, but they showed off like a huge DLC like story thing for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I was not expecting. Like, I knew there was going to be DLC, but I didn't like it's a completely like it's like a completely separate story. Like that wasn't even, what is this? Well, whatever it is, I can't do it. Are there? Yeah, like, are there enemies? Oh, hello. So yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the new DLC. You know, it expands the story, and you get to play in like, you know, I don't want to spoil it too much for people who haven't played the game, so I'm not gonna. But it looks really cool. But yeah, so then we moved on to the worst, just the worst, just. Oh my fucking god, this Pokemon game! Like, stop, Nintendo. Why the fuck? Like, why in God's name? Oh god, I have such bad weapons. This is gonna suck ass. Like, why? Just why, Nintendo? Who wants this? Why would you give us this gimped ass fucking mobile game on a Nintendo, like on the Nintendo Switch, where like it's like, oh, you can play Pokemon Go, only now you have to spend like $40 or $50. I doubt they're gonna charge $60 for this game. $40 or $50 to do it. You can't do, and you can do actual Pokemon battles, just not against wild Pokemon. You have to just try and catch them the same way you would in Pokemon Go. Just, please stop. Please make it stop. Please wake me up from this nightmare. Just, I don't understand how they thought this was a good idea. This is so stupid. And they devoted so much fucking time to it. It's such a shit game. It's not, like, it's a Gen 1 remake, except worse. Like, go fuck yourself, Nintendo. Do not fucking dedicate that much time to this goddamn abomination. Like, you didn't show anything for Metroid Prime 4. You didn't show anything for the new Pokemon game. You didn't announce any, like, real new games. Where the fuck was Paper Mario? Where was F-Zero? Where was Pikmin? Where was Animal Crossing? No. No. We need to watch fucking Pokemon Go $60 edition. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm a little bit upset about that. I'm not gonna lie. What did I miss over here? I didn't realize there was still so much of the map left. So yeah, I'm upset about Pokemon Go, and not only did they, you know, announce Pokemon Go, but and spend a shitload of time on it, but like, again, like there was so much stuff they didn't show or didn't announce, or like so many games that they didn't touch on, so many things that they have announced and could talk about but didn't, and so many things that they haven't announced but should. And again, this is the same thing. Like, where the fuck were Konami? Where the fuck was Capcom with all their announcements and stuff like this? And before I started recording just now, I had watched Pro Jared, some of his like conference. Whoa! I almost got hit by you and didn't even see you. Some of his like conference reviews or whatever, and he was kind of a lot more generous than I was to some of them, but one of the things that kind of really bugged me is he mentioned that in the Nintendo one that, like, you can't get upset about the things they didn't announce because that's not on them. You can only review, you know, what they did announce, not what they didn't. And I'm like, no, that's not true at all. E3 is for announcements. It is for you to announce things that are coming out. And especially now that the Switch is in its second year. And, I mean, this is sort of a weird thing to complain about, but Nintendo hit all of their release dates last year. And everything they showed off last year got released, basically. With the exception of, I think, the Yoshi game that didn't even make a fucking appearance at this E3. But everything that they announced and they gave a release date, it released on time. And that was really cool. But now you're in your second year, and you need to start showing off things to be, you know, excited for, you know, through the rest of this year or through next year. And they didn't. Like, where was the Animal Crossing? Where was the Pikmin? Where was Mother 3? I'm joking. That was never going to get fucking announced. But, like, you can't just, like, not announce anything. And, I mean, again, you've announced Yoshi. You've announced Metroid Prime 4. You have announced that you're working on a Pokemon game. Why not give us anything? Like, show us that those games are actually being worked on. Just saying that you're doing it isn't good enough. We want to see something. Instead, all they really did was show off a bunch of shit that they had announced, you know, earlier this year during their oh, I can do this. During their Nintendo Direct at the start of the year. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. So I don't get hit. I need a long-range weapon is the problem. This isn't really a long-range weapon. The best way to fight this guy is... Okay, well... Okay, the best way to fight this guy is not up close. Unfortunately, I don't have a particularly good long-range weapon. In fact, I don't have any good weapons right now. This is kind of ass. But anyway, so, you know, moving past that little rant, though, let's move on to the, you know, the big fish. Probably the biggest... Honestly, if we're being completely honest, this is probably the biggest announcement for this E3. I'm out of ammo. Shit. And that was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which has every fucking Smash character ever, and an Inkling girl who gives a shit about the Inkling boys, and motherfucking too big for Smash himself, Ridley. I don't actually care if I get it anymore. So, this was obviously a huge announcement. It is still kind of a port. It doesn't look like they have a ton of new stuff. God, I need this gun, but I also need ammo in my other guns. Hey, that might be very useful in the next floor. Take that. Oh yeah, this is why I wasn't worried about anything. Heal me, you fuck. This is great. Oh, I wanted them to talk shit about conventional medicine and it didn't happen. So it is kind of a port. Like, they've clearly done a lot of work and tweaking, like, mechanically wise on the game. And they've changed the characters quite a bit, but a vast majority of the characters are just, you know, ripped straight from Smash 4. I'm almost certain every stage that they showed off was ripped from another Smash game. In terms of actual legitimately didn't exist in Smash Bros. Before content, there's not a lot that they showed off. But there probably will be a couple more things, and there will definitely be some new stuff. So I'm not going to call it a straight port, but it is a port-ish. They did do a ton of tweaking. Every fucking character ever coming back is insane. There were some weird things, like, so now they don't have clones, they have echo characters. Lucina, Dark Pit, and now Daisy. Which Daisy actually looks fucking awesome. Like, her model and everything, she looks great. If I could play Peach, I'd have loved to be able to play Daisy. But, the weird thing is, like, Dr. Mario's not one of those, even though his moves are exactly the same. And Young Link's not, and Pichu's not. Like, what? Fox and Falco? Like, so, like, how similar do the characters have to be? Because, like, if you're gonna say Fox and Falco aren't, because, you know, they have some differences to their attacks and stuff like that. Like, now Falco doesn't have the same reflector that, Fox has. Okay. Young Link is exactly the same as Link. So, I don't know where we're going with this. But, I mean, it's, I don't know. It's just the typical weird Sakurai bullshit. In atypical Sakurai bullshit, they're bringing back directional air dodges, which means they're almost certainly bringing back wave dashing. I actually believe for certain that wave dashing, in fact, it will be confirmed. It was too deliberate the way they sort of showed off the directional air dodging for it not to for it not to exist. Why don't you guys come this way? Damn it! I wanted you to be closer to that when it exploded. But yeah, like, the fact that they took the time to really just, like, slow down the game, like, slow down the video and be like, yes, this is in the game. Like, there's no way they didn't do that with the full understanding that means people are going to think wave dashing is back, which means wave dashing is very likely back. That wasn't actually, however, for me, the most important part of the trailer for Smash Bros. The most important part of the trailer for Smash Bros. For me was them showing off King Dedede's new Final Smash, which sounds weird, but let me explain. So, if you've ever heard me talk about Sakurai before, and by talk about, I mean straight up just talk shit about, you'll know he's very much not a person who makes video games for other people. Sakurai makes video games for Sakurai. Sakurai is, as some would say, an auteur. I'd say something that sounds similar, but not quite the same. He wants games, he has a vision for his games, and they need to be exactly like that. And if you don't like that vision, you're wrong. That is, what the hell? Oh, I know what hit me. I was like, how did that fucking move like that? I actually know. Too many things. Getting hit, and I don't like it. I should have bought that Casey. So, for those who don't know, Sakurai did... I believe the last Kirby game that Sakurai worked on was Kirby's... Kirby 6... It was either Kirby 64 Crystal Shards, or it was Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. But he did not work on the remake of Kirby Superstar Ultra. That means anything that was introduced in Kirby Superstar Ultra was introduced without Sakurai. So, for instance, Soul of Marks and, more importantly, Masked Dedede. Ooh, this is a really fucking good. This is a really fucking good item to have. Neither of those characters were Sakurai characters, and for anyone who's paid attention to Smash, you'd note that nothing involving Masked Dedede has ever showed up, even though theoretically it would really make sense for it. I don't know what this does, so I'm gonna walk away. You're my team now. Go kill each other. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna kill you. Did I really just walk into that like a fucking scrub? Alright, there we go. So, hey, I got a map. I wonder which side it's on. It's on this one. Oh, wow. That's fucking useless. I hate glass glue on stones. Oh, gold chest. I need to get that. Ooh, and a muncher. Okay, I need to get that too. Getting back to Mass DDD. So, in Smash Brothers Brawl, it was whatever that Mass DDD didn't exist. But, when Smash 4 came out, and Sakurai, you know, released this... Oh, he's on... Fuck. He completely redid King DDD to have, like, a more... sort of... How should I put it? Whatever. You know what? Yep, well, I lost the glass one already. He redid DDD to have a final Smash that sort of was... that better represented his character, I guess. Is what we would go with. Except he didn't really, because... despite the fact that King DDD has what should have, like, a transformation that should absolutely have been used for his final Smash. Like, there was literally no reason for it to not be Mass DDD. It wasn't. Instead, they gave him a fucking bomb for some reason. Like, what? And also in Smash 4, they gave King DDD's theme a remix. Oh god, I hate this gun. Another shotgun, awesome. And again, instead of using Mass DDD, they used some weird fucking, like, heavily Japanese-inspired remix form. But again, nothing with Mass DDD whatsoever. And I honestly believe, just like the sort of person Sakurai is, that is because Mass DDD was not his. Mass DDD was wrong in his mind, because Mass DDD was not his. What am I doing? They can't hurt each other. But now Mass DDD exists. He actually did it. He changed the game in a way that, like, how should I put it? He changed the game in a way that didn't put himself first. Like, even though... I need this to not happen. Okay. Even though Mass DDD is not his character, even though it is someone else's creation, it just fits better than anything that he has. And this is sort of the closest we've ever got to him actually just, like, admitting that. And that's important because it means he might... Oh, what the fuck, where did he come from? He might actually, for once, like, think about the competitive scene. Like, honestly think about the competitive scene when working on the Smash Bros. Games. And it seems like he did with the wave dashing thing. I don't know for certain. Okay, double ammo, I guess. I have 2 shotguns. This is getting difficult to, like, talk and play at the same time. But yeah, so... I don't know, there might actually be hope yet for this Smash Bros. Game. I don't know. It looks a lot faster. It looks a lot more interesting. It still seems like they have that thing where you just lose all your momentum when you jump, though. Which is kind of dumb. But it's whatever. I don't know. I'll keep an eye on it. Is that an elephant gun? No, it's Old Goldie. Old Goldie. Why do I have 3 shotguns? Old Goldie gets me discounts though. Oh, it's this boss. I already know which boss that is. That's good because I'm immune to fire right now. But I do need more health. I'm starting to take too much damage. I'm not. This is annoying. Okay, that was so fucking stupid. I don't think I've ever run into this room before. Like, with that enemy in that situation. Like, that was fucking annoying. Please have hearts. Fuck it, I have a lot of money and nothing to do with it at this point. Not really anything else worth getting. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. So yeah, so E3. So Nintendo and Sony both had like solid press conferences. It's just like they were solid press conferences that shouldn't have been at E3. Like that should have just been like most of it should have been just stuff they announced just sort of on their own, without using the venue that's specifically set for like I'm going to try and do something. Without using the venue that was, you know, specifically for revealing new stuff and talking about new games and things like that. To talk about games that, again, already been announced, are almost out. In Nintendo's case, they talked about a couple games that were literally already out. It's like, oh yeah, go get it now. Because it's been out for a while, so you can get it now. Shoutouts to Hollow Knight and Fork Knife. But still, like, wow, I'm almost out of ammo. I should probably not be wasting all my ammo. I'm immune to fire, sir. Rolled into that. I also rolled into that. I thought I was further over to the right. I thought I wasn't going to roll into that. I guess I was wrong. Old Goldie does more damage. Yeah, I don't know. I just like, I'm kind of disappointed in this E3. Like, I feel like a lot of it was just stuff that didn't need to be at E3, that they could have done a different way. Hey, it's the gun boots. If I can make it through the dragon with the shitty-ass weapons, it'll be amazing. Yeah, it just felt like a lot of stuff that we already knew about, or a lot of stuff we'd already seen. A lot of just kind of a lot of fluff for not a lot of actual interesting revelations. Also, I think Sony announced a new Tetris game, which is, why would you even do that? It's Tetris. I don't even know if that was at E3 or if I'm thinking about something that was shown off earlier. But, oh, that looks like I was paying too much attention to myself and not where I was going. Good job, me. Or not, rather, not where I was going, but what was coming at me. Yeah, it's just like, it was a pretty fucking disappointing E3. I mean, it had to have been super exciting if you're a Bethesda fan, because it's like, hey, they announced the game you've been waiting for forever. It's not a surprise, but like, and I know it kind of sounds weird to say that it's not a surprise when I'm talking about how Nintendo also didn't announce, like, a new Animal Crossing, which is almost certainly going to be announced. But, like, what about F-Zero, which hasn't been touched on for, what, almost 17 years now? When did GX come out? Like, 2002? 2003? Oh, I hate these rooms. Oh, I fucking hate these rooms. I want none of this shit. You want the back? Alright, that's interesting. I didn't even know Iron Maidens could spawn on this floor. I think I was okay not knowing that. I'd like to go back to not knowing that. I'd like that to just not be a thing that happens. I fucking hate Iron Maidens. Yeah, I don't know, it just felt like a lot of nothing, really. Or not nothing, but a lot of just emptiness. Like, it's like, oh, here's a game that, you know, everyone knew was coming because we had already announced it. And here's a look at it that's not even particularly new. Like the Kingdom Hearts trailer didn't really show off anything new. Let's be honest here. It showed off, what is it, the Frozen world. But we already knew Frozen was coming. Because they'd announced it before. Oh, fuck. Ah, this is getting obnoxious. What is with these fucking rooms? It's never this bad. I had an easier time when I had like 5 or 6 curse before. And like other stuff too, like Death Stranding, a game that people are actually excited about because it has Hideo Kojima's name on it, even though, holy fuck, what's going on in that game? But again, like, they showed basically nothing for it. I don't know. DMC5's kind of the same too, where they didn't really show too much. Also, I'm gonna be honest here. Even though the DMC5 trailer is a big deal, and it's cool that they announced it and all that shit, holy fuck, that trailer was ass. That one new female character they introduced, her, I don't know, first off, her model is just weird. She looks fucking terrifying. I don't know what the fuck they did to her face. But beyond that, why is she so goddamn annoying? Like, oh fuck. What was the purpose of making her annoying like that? Oh yeah, I'm immune to fire. Am I immune to these? I am. Cool. Not immune to fire bullets though, I don't think. Oh, hello! Friend? Will you be my friend? That was the other thing, even stuff that did get announced that was important looked really fucking, I don't know. Yeah, the one good thing about this E3 is there's nothing that was just, like, offensively bad outside of, like, Square's conference, but even that wasn't, like, oh, fuck yes! This thing's so good. I'm so glad I have this now. I don't want any of this. No, I'm gonna save my money. In case I can buy a heart at the, once I find the blacksmith. But I mean, even with how, like, unnecessary Square Enix's conference was, it wasn't like Microsoft, you know, when they announced the Xbox One, and they're like, by the way, always online, you can't trade in games, everything's the fucking worst, Connect! Like, it wasn't anything like that, at least, but there also just wasn't anything interesting. It wasn't like, you know, oh, hello. It wasn't like, honestly, it wasn't like last year where a bunch of them. I hate that some of those exploded the bullets. Oh, that's the Dragon. Should I just... Oh, no, I need the bullet anyway. I don't have the bullet that kills fast. Should I just go fight Dragon, though? Would it be smarter to just... Okay. Smarter. Okay! It's an elite sniper. I couldn't tell. Or the professional. God damn it. I would not have died if I had realized that was a professional. Ugh. One heart. This is annoying. Not think I'm gonna make it through this. Ooh, hex gun. And I'm about to die. Awesome. Yeah, I think this is just about game. Don't see myself coming out of this with half a heart. Oh! That was lucky. I'm just going to say that right now. I was not looking forward to fighting that enemy. Cool. Awesome. Fan-fucking-tastic. I mean, I didn't have any good guns anyway, but still. I had so much other good shit. I should have been able to complete that. That was dumb. Whatever, I've already killed his past. Yeah, I don't know. It just felt like there wasn't really anything to be excited about at this E3. Like, I don't know. I mean, there's gonna be, for me at least, I know there's gonna be a lot of people who are super excited about the new Smash Brothers, super excited for the new fucking Elder Scrolls, Gundromeda strain. I want to know what that is. But to me, it just felt like, again, it's just like a lot of stuff we already knew about, a lot of stuff that wasn't that interesting. Just, where was the big exciting stuff? Where was the big announcements? Where was the fucking next Sly Cooper game? Where was the next Paper Mario? Where was the next, well, Microsoft doesn't actually have anything, like, exclusive to show off. Where was the next Halo Battle Royale game? I can guarantee it, having not looked into it at all, I can guarantee you there's going to be a Battle Royale mode in the new Halo game. Oh, did I have... one more Mimic. Damn it. But yeah, like, it just... I don't know. It just felt sort of lame. Sort of tame. Like, it wasn't awful, but it definitely wasn't great. Like, if I had... It's like... It is the C. The C grade of E3s. Like, it just wasn't that impressive. Yeah. Anyway. With all of that said, I don't really have much more to talk about. I mean, E3's not over. Some new stuff might get announced. In fact, let's go look and see if anything interesting got announced right now. Let's go type in some things. Oh yeah, Cyberpunk 2077. I forgot about that. That game looks fucking gorgeous. I mean, Destiny 2 got shown off. We knew about that already, though. They showed off more of the Spider-Man game, which I'm not really that interested in. Oh, there's that new game, Sekiro or whatever. Is that the PSVR game, though? I think that's the PSVR game. Or maybe it's not. No, it's the other one. That game looks pretty as hell, too. That was actually like an actual new IP, which is important. Like, there was not a lot of that at this year's E3, but yeah, if there's anything I'm forgetting, if there's anything you want to talk about, just say it. I'll respond more than likely. Until then, though, this has been Pink Reaper, guys. Thanks for watching. Signing out. I did that in weird order. Ignore that.